Good afternoon, everyone. For all the parents who are watching this video, the last year that has gone by has been a difficult one for all of us, and specifically for parents, because we've had to make choices that we've never had to think about earlier. Simple things like should we let our children step down in the evening to play? Should we cut our child's screen time since their eyes have already had enough screen while they were attending online classes? And now, with the new academic year approaching, we yet have another big choice to make. Should we enroll our nursery ready child in formal school at all, given the current situation this academic year? These choices are hard, and thus, Schoolvisor has decided to get our parents some help. So, for the discussion today, and for all the parents who are watching us, the next 30 minutes will be packed with questions such as what the next academic session might look like for schools in 2021. Should the little ones be sent to school? If not, what's the alternative? And how does that compare to mainstream schooling? My name is Pooja Kedia from Schoolvisor, and today to help us with all these questions, I am joined by Mrs. Sayogita Sharma. She is a seasoned educationist with over 30 years of experience in school education. She comes with a master's degree in English and has a postgraduate diploma in school leadership and management. After a decade and a half with DAV Public School Faridabad, she joined Manav Rachna International School as a founder principal, and presently she is the director of Manav Rachna International Schools across NCR and Punjab. Thank you so much, Sayogita ji, for joining us today, and a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Pooja. Nice having me here.
I am also joined by Anuradha Handa. Mrs. Handa is currently the principal at GD Goenka Public School, Gurugram. Her career spans over 2 decades, and she has a postgraduate in physics and a professional degree in education. Prior to joining GD Goenka Public School, Mrs. Handa has been associated with schools such as Amity International, APJ School, and Modern Vasant Vihar. She firmly believes that each child is unique, and that is why the educational system should facilitate and address uniqueness of each child. Anuradha ji features in the web series Education Evangelist of India on the Forbes platform. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today, Anuradha ji. Welcome.
Thank you, Pooja. Pleasure to be here.
We also have with us Mrs. Charu Meni. Charu ji has a career of 27 years in the field of education and is currently the principal at DAV Public School, Gurgaon. She believes education must bring together a fine synthesis between Vedic values and opportunities brought forward by modernist society. She is a double postgraduate in in education and chemistry. Besides teaching and managing the school, she is an expert panelist and a resource person for teacher orientation workshops with CBSE and NCRT. Charuji is a keen dramatist and a singer, and being trained as an NCC cadet, she takes challenges head on. A very warm welcome to you, Charuji, and thank you for being here today with us.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for such warm introduction. Thank you.
Right, so this year, I think because of the pandemic, we've all seen a lot of parents play the wait and watch game. They're not sure, and for a good reason, if it's a good idea to enroll their nursery ready child in regular school. So for today's discussion, one of the things that I want to iron out first is to try and understand for such parents, are there any alternate options? And to be able to do that, and Anuradha, I'd like to start with you. One of the key things that I'd want to do is try and wrap our heads around what are the key differences as a parent that you should expect if you are putting your child in a mainstream K-12 school at nursery, vis-a-vis if you decide to homeschool them.
I'll try and address that, Pooja. So school is a social environment. School is a place where you have students, you have teachers, and you have a structure to the school. The child gets a very detailed exposure to not only teaching, learning, but a lot of other programs. You know, a 3-year-old child, when he or she enters the school, there is bonding that happens between students. There is interaction that happens with teachers. And then the school has a structure to everything. So, you know, for us, when a child comes to us, we have typically about 15 activities that the child goes through every week. Now, it is those experiences in school that builds a child's personality, confidence, and lays the foundation for the school life. So I feel that definitely parents are, the first gurus of the child. But there is a greater role that the gurus and the environment at school plays, which I feel is absolutely essential for a child to be in as far as the formal schooling is concerned, because there we also have experts, the teachers who are experts of early years and of education. So to say that a formal school at pre-primary and the first 4 years lay the foundation for school life.
Great, I think very well said. And the key words that stuck out for me there was social environment, which unfortunately we will not be able to provide the child at home. The structure that the school has, again, is something that I think parents will struggle with, and you'll have to be very harsh on the child to be able to put that structure day in and day out on your child. Building personalities and making sure that your child is in the hands of experts. And I think that's beautiful, beautifully summed up. Having said that, I just want to ask a follow-up question on that. While all that is good, but given the current scenario where the child is actually doing online classes from home, does that difference between homeschooling and sending the child to a formal school now narrow?
So is that meant for me, Pooja?
Yes, Anuradha.
See, we have had a year where definitely while the children were being schooled at home, but it wasn't homeschooling, because when you literally had teachers reaching out to children at home. And that is the difference. So there is schooling happening, but there is a structure, there is a timing, there are multiple interactions that a child has with the teacher, with the peers. And in fact, over a period of time, we realized that it is not only those formal interactions that are required. We created provision where we just had a group of children coming together and the teacher was merely present there and facilitated the children talking to each other. Those social interactions and peer relationships that the children were missing out on. So we facilitated that. And in fact, we could engage them in a lot of experiential learning at home. A simple project like from farm to table, the bread. So we made use of the fact that since the children are at home, so they could engage themselves along with their parents in real time, cooking without fire at home. So definitely the gap in terms of homeschooling and the way schooling happened at home has reduced. But the structure and the format that it has, that only was possible because we still had those experts reaching out to children. We still had a structure of program that was being conducted. We still had, the essence of those interactions that are so essential. So there is absolutely no replacement for that.
Great. Thank you so much. So for all the parents who've heard that, the formal schooling comes out as a clear winner. And for reasons like the structure, the expert who takes on and make sure the class is facilitated in the right direction, the social engagement, and the entire personality development. I think going back to what everybody has echoed here, so what you're saying is also, put your child in the hand of experts because they will be able to identify if there's any gap that needs correction. And also, you've said that overall, you also echo what Anuradha ji and Sanyogata ji have voiced. Great, thank you so much. Anuradha ji, I'm going to move on to you with my next question. In your opinion, for parents who are going to be first-time visual classes parents, what are the kind of challenges, in your opinion, that they are bound to face, both they and their children, and how are schools equipped to help these parents?
So we are talking of the parents and the children who are going to be coming for the first time for the online classes. And this we are talking of into a formal school in nursery, right? They may or may not have had the experience of a play school, and it may be the first time for them. So in both the cases, in fact, if I can just make a little point on the fact that why we have to have, in nursery, a formal school to be attended, you were talking about that point of a comfort. So there is one point that I want to make here, that, it is always a sapling which is planted. If you allow a sapling to grow into a plant and then you have to uproot it and place it at another point, I feel there is greater difficulty and there is a greater chance of it may not bloom the way it can when it is a sapling. So that 3 years of age to put a sapling into a school to bloom into a tree is important, is required, because children should make connections. See, a school carries a 14-year vision. We are very clear with the milestones and the needs of the children at every stage. So when we are making a plan, a pedagogical plan, and the pursuits of the school, we are keeping in mind every type of development that the child should undergo at that appropriate age. And the number of experts and the programs and the vision that a formal school carries is what a child requires at the age of 3. Now, with regard to the kind of preparation that a parent needs to have for a child who's entering into school on a virtual mode, I think it is only initially, like in our school, a nursery child within the first 2-3 months became independent, because our entire focus was that we gradually allow the child to be actively attending classes. Today, if you look at our children, all of them, they are on their own, logging into the system. They are independent, they are expressive. In fact, a lot of aspects of their personality and skills have got developed more than that what would have happened in a physical environment. A lot of listening skill has developed. We do this program where we ask them to switch off their camera and respond to what the teacher is talking, maybe draw, maybe, react and act. And we've seen that their skills have developed. Communication skills, listening skills, responses, responsibility has been more, So for the parents who are going to be enrolling their children into nursery for the first time, the school will orient the parents as per the requirement, that the expectation that the school has from the parent and from the child. You don't have to worry. And you will find, to your amazement, parents, that the children will sooner than later become independent, adapt and adjust. And we are definitely hopeful, and we are looking forward to, if not completely offline classes, very soon a hybrid model, and the school is ready for that. And especially the flipped classes, the children being able to go through the asynchronous material that the school shares, the plan for the next day that the school shares, so that preparation is done in collaboration with the parent and the child, so that the real joy of learning is what is focused on while the classes are going on. So no real preparation, keep an open mind, believe in the system, come in, just allow the child to be with the teacher and the school, believe in school programs, and it is going to be a smooth sailing for you.
Awesome. For all the parents, that's a lot of positivity for you to take in. So I think I personally, I love the example that you gave for the sapling. And I think I agree to a great extent with you as a mother who has children herself. I think independence is the right word that you've used, because children have gotten a lot more independent. So yes, for first-time parents, it is going to be slightly overwhelming, because your child has probably never sat in front of a laptop and you'll be worried that the laptop is going to land up in 2 pieces by the time the first lesson finishes. But hopefully the teachers there at the other end will be able to handhold the child and make sure that they put them at a point where they become more responsible, more independent. So just let your child go out there in open waters and swim, and hopefully they will come out as swimmers. So for all the parents, if that is an option that your school might be offering, please do get in touch with them. For senior students anyway, schools have opened. The other thing that just came to my mind when you mentioned that is, why just school? Go around, try and see if you can borrow a laptop for the interim through friends, or you get even rental laptops that you can go ahead and try and lay in your hands on. Great. That brings us to pretty much at the end of a very, very interesting discussion. But before we go, really quickly, in 30 seconds, if I could come to each one of you and check with you if there was one piece of advice that you'd want to give to all these parents who are holding back, who are apprehensive, who are scared and are not really sure what to do, what would that piece of advice be? Charuji, since we were talking to you, let me start with you.
Okay, so if you fall ill, Google is all full of the advices. If Zukham, if there is some runny nose, what do you do, and all those things. But do you do? Do you do only that? You do go to the doctor, isn't it? So the teachers out there are all trained in their ECCE. So have faith, because if you please put your child in the school, in the formal schooling, and see how beautifully the child, your sapling, blooms. That's one.
Great. Thank you so much. Anuradha ji, if I could get your thoughts as well.
All right. So I think I would lay emphasis on the fact that we know that in the first 5 years of a child's life, maximum brain development happens. All the neuron connections that are made. So in those 5 years, 3 years are gone at home. So out of the remaining 2, if the child sits at home for 1 more year, you are actually missing out on 50% of the total time available to make those connections in the entire life, on which the foundation of the remaining years is laid. So I think one has to be wise to take a decision and not compromise, because it means a lot to the life and development of the child.
Thank you so much. Sanyogita ji, your words, please.
I will say that schools are happy places. They're very important for the well-being of children, their social, their psychological, their mental well-being, their cognitive well-being. So they need to come to school. They come to school only not for academics. They are coming here to make friends, to have relationships, to feel good about the things. So their body, their mind will be healthy, sound, and will be setting that foundation for a healthy life for them. So for happiness, for joyful learning, come to school.
Great. Thank you so much. So I hear everyone say, have faith, critical years, so make sure your child goes to school and it's a happy place. So please do send your child to an happy place. It has been an absolutely amazing discussion. I hope the parents have had some more faith after talking to educators who are extremely positive and extremely promising. Thank you so much for your time, Charuji, Anuradha-ji, and Sanyogita-ji. It's been lovely talking to all 3 of you.
Thank you so much,
you.
Pooja.
Thank you. Thank you.